test it, of course, if it works, but... Yeah, okay, works. Right. I'm not gonna do audio because I'm live chat on, so you can see everything happening. Hi, welcome. It's been a while since I've done the letter. Maybe a bit too long ago, but yeah. Now, seeing that my scheduling is going to become a nightmare itself, I personally think I have to do at least a little bit more. Maybe Saturday again, if this has great. But yeah, welcome to the letter. This is livestream number 10. We're right now on Ashton's chapter. Sorry, I'm eating something, so. Yeah, so we're gonna see that now. Last time I saw that chapter is ridiculously long with how many choices, but that depends on what you did in the last chapters. Specifically with Isabella, Zachary, and Rebecca. Miriam. Hannah, I think, doesn't really mainly matter, but... Continue. I am gonna get a notepad, a notebook, because seeing that this chapter is a bit longer, a lot longer, and seeing that Ashton is like some kind of like a police officer / detective, I have a feeling that there's a lot more detective stuff gonna come. Maybe, I don't know, like something like Dunorama, like the right thing, like you get the point, but I'm gonna do that for safety measures reasons, because I'm not good at remembering. Okay, wait, so we're immediately at the... Wait, it's at October 28th February, the Birmingham Mansion, so yeah. Keep that on there, so. Got about actually, I work for, so I don't have every time I'm like nowadays, they silent pen, because I have to commission nowadays, no, be sure to check out me, draw 990 on Twitter. Making for safer work and not safe work. Parties. Never really been my thing. Oh, it's at the party. Okay. There's always such a hassle and takes so much time off my day. Prior plans that community cancels, all for the sake of playing along with others.
Welcome everyone.
I want to see all the events take back again like usual. I hate them even as a child.
Please make yourselves at home.
Yes, I will. I'm just checking out if the audio works, because you know already that sometimes in my streams the audio is very glitchy. But Mom even insisted. She slicked my hair back. A great start already with the first one, so yay! But Mom insisted. She clicked my hair back, put me in one of those stuffy dinner jackets, and other around. Argued to make friends. Never mind how utterly loud her tendency was. It's all for the sake of keeping us approaching. For some extent, lies already surrounded me long before I have chosen what I wanted to do with life. Luckily, I have an easy way to tune everything out, as much to my mom's frustration. I always managed to sneak my CD player along. I kept it to myself and to my music, had my own little worlds, until I learned to observe. Simple matter of awareness, really. And for someone with keen eyes and skewed naked, where a simple flick of wrist alone could tell volume about a person. I still don't like parties. Obviously you don't, Ashton. Am I gonna refer him as Ashton, or am I gonna refer him as Ashhole the whole time? I don't know. Especially ones with big fancy, as the rights. Housewarming, however, when the actual reason to go to them, I figured there's not too bad.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Besides, it's not like it or not, this is all part of my job. I'm here on a mission. What for mission? One has the name Look Right plastered all over it. I would think a man would remain inconspicuous after his name was linked to several high-profile crimes across the... Wait, Luke Wright is a criminal. Oh shit. Guaranteed. Most of them gone cold over the years, having stagnated without any leads of evidence, but that still doesn't make him any less suspicious. Yet here is throwing a party in his own backyard. Although even observing the man this past year, not even a shocked he craved it. The damn spotlight constantly yearns attention with the neglected little puppy. It doesn't make takes a genius to figure out why he's nowhere to be found in his own party. But that's not the problem here. What pisses me off, how far his reach extended, how closer he has creeped into the lives of the people I care about. Again, like a stubborn itch I couldn't be rid of. First Professor Clark, then there's Isabella, also spotted Z-Man here a while ago, and now there's also Rebecca. Apparently.
Ashton?
Becca, what are you doing here?
I was invited.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with the host.
That explains things. Makes this difficult all the same. As if getting contact among the staff to sneak a name into the guest list isn't hard enough. The guy almost ditched me last night and might place another setback into investigation if it wasn't my generous tip. Then here comes Rebecca, another person to mind.
Well, it's my parents, actually. But that's beside the point. What are you doing here? You hate parties.
Asheville knows.
I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
Unnecessary lie. Oh, so you like the lie. Ooh, interesting. I can't bring my own friends into this any further with how they found themselves in. Because if Luke Wright so much has harmed a hair on either Zach or Rebecca's heads, there will be hell to pay. Worrying about Isabel's brief dealing with him is stressing in itself already. I doubt he attempts anything in front of other people though. Really transient glorification he values more than anything. It doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it, more than in fact, and on the off chance that he does something, it wouldn't be responsible for my actions.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can...
For Zach and Rebecca's sake, however, I really hope this to simply be another housewarming. Even though something tells me it's anything but. What will happen to Marianne? Because she's still stuck in the prison downstairs when the housewarming party is going on. Will she be saved or something in Luke's playthrough? I don't know. Call it a detective impersonator or whatever. When Luke Wright involves, nothing goes good as comes out. It can't let my guard down here. Even more so, the familiar car slows to stop and comes out.
Chief?
My presence has more odds at the best, but excuse one that this man hands to himself a year ago, along with a heavy dose of flattery with the new promoted detective inspector. I can't exactly say the same for my good old boss, can I?
Although, I see him here chatting it up with... But the guy is obviously a social climber. I'm surprised, in fact, he seems all too eager to mingle with a person of interested wife. Just what the hell is he doing here?
Ashton, what's...
Sorry, Becca, I need to... There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about...
What the shit is going on here?
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful, okay?
Be careful, what?
Hey, be careful! About what exact...
I don't want to draw any attention to myself either. At least not until he is giving me a proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see?
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again?
For now, the best I can do is wait and remain unsuspicious, especially with the chief here. Who's motivated and doubtless at the best. If it means having pretend I don't know Zach and Rebecca, or forcing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like that, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. Wandering out of the question as well, the guard in situated here and there. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with ease, but it would be rather not right now. When I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about, the best way to try to car people. Their interior design drunken and claims aren't believed.
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
It comes all down to, oh well, I'll play cards tonight. It's always like very police like style talking, like they have always like words exactly to use. So that's a lovely detail. A good hand, this party's going to give me the breakthrough I need to crack Luke Ryder. Sorry again, it happens, it happens all the time. A good hand, this party's going to be a breakthrough I need to crack Luke Ryder, something that's proved that my suspicion is wrong. Maybe I can find some game my boss is also playing. The streaming service always just doesn't love to do this, so I have to do it. I had an inkling before, a few hunches tempered down by how much of a bimble fool the man appears. But one does not simply deal with their rights, it gets invited to a party that they host without wanting anything from either of the two, or an other way around. So with the last worried glance at the two, I head to the ballroom. Let's hope this will not complain things further. Shit. By the time the party is full swing, night has fallen yet and still hasn't looked right inside. The man can be quite ostentatious, but this, frankly, I'm impressed. I don't even know how many hors d'oeuvres. Oh, that's language I cannot speak. Okay, just French dishes. Even if I at work inside of a restaurant, the dishwashing, I've worked in to become a chef. Then again, we do it in our own language, but French is more fancy. How many hors d'oeuvres? I already stuffed my face with. Oh, that does look very very familiar. I don't know. It's but it's something. I don't know. One too many probably. The server already giving me a stinky eye every time I saw over the buffet table. Lamb, your employee, not me. He's the one who has the gut to show me up late. Besides, most of the guests idle talk in concentrating in this area. Despite standing under the same roof with very people, they're whispering about some just couldn't resist. I might as well keep an ear out for useful info.
Is Suarez still fixing that tech problem? Tech problem. It's been 3 years. Sooner or later, the blighter will put 2 and 2 together.
He might have already.
If the red tape I'm being slammed with these past few months suggests anything, that or something has been pulling the strings. I wouldn't be shocked this case would not have gone this long if Scumbag didn't have any mule of some kind of force.
Shush you, we all know Suarez just wants an out. I knew he was bad news the day the merger with Evans Incorporated happened. Fair. Glad I did not have to deal with that. But keep it down, someone might hear. The wife especially.
The kind of neglectful has always been an advantage, but sometimes I wish I could be smashed drunk while doing this. Having sharp ears also means you hear most of the unserving things. Who cheated on who this week, one person motive for bashing someone's skull against the wall, or thought excuses for burning his own daughter alive, that sort of stuff. After a few years, it gets tiring, you get desensitized to it. But humans could be downright awful sometimes. Their simple isn't enough to brain bleach in the world. Sadly, the wine is no-go tonight, mostly for the show. I'm up for another drive later for one, and I definitely want to be sober in case anything comes up. And something always comes up in a assignment like this. A detective inspector dying of a cardiac arrest, for example. Because I can't for the moment of my heart grinding the hall the second I shift my eyes to the corner of the ballroom.
Hannah Wright.
Some will say I'm acting a touchy bit paranoid, maybe. This is a party that she's the hostess. It goes to say that she takes the time to mingle with her guests. But Hannah Wright even isn't without her fair share of aqueducts. I cannot speak everything correctly because... Why do I have to be so fancy with some words? At least to the public, she doesn't seem like it. Unlike her husband, she's the one with the business sense, not to mention the impressive track record needed to manage a company. Or an efficient hide, whatever argument there might be. She's clean as far as my agent and I have found, but that doesn't rule out a possible involvement with whatever her husband's up to. Hell, Luke Wright came out clean in previous reports until I bothered to take a deeper look into it. What I found may not be sufficient to bring anyone to trial yet, but it's enough to narrate suspicions. This may be a bit of an overreaction, but here we go again. This may be an overreaction, but nonetheless, my lines of work from being careless.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Nothing to worry about then. She's probably more even careful with her parents and her own husband. Even growing up, a spotlight focus on her. Yet, even knowing that, you gotta stay since the party started. A bruised off early who wouldn't be found edgy, right? I've gone undercover in a party host, but the very person I'm investigating, that in itself is risky and has plenty of room of error. Usually, though, the tendency pass around the first half hour or so. I've been trained to remain composed in situations like this. However, with each second I spend here, it only grows heavier and seeks to overwhelm. An odd feeling that someone is watching me instead. It has been like the sense last week, but I should already be used to it. Would be looking at me, no matter how small or big of a blick I am on their radar. It's what they do these things. When the feeling of eye burns into my back linger longer than necessary. I've been looking everywhere, every now and then to catch the clerk. No luck. Despite my effort to push the sentence far enough, it's good a tiny continues to sting back on my head and goes to the cold touch creeps up my limbs. Until my gaze switched back to Rebecca and Hannah Wright. They stand there, dark hair and their dirty sticking out with a thumb. Even so, Nanda seems to notice, although she looks away from me. Her merge exists and her strikes disturbs. A sense of tunnel vision binds with the stock still and gaze at her like my life depends on making sure she stays where she is. I feel trapped in the present until another guest bumps into me, yanking me out of my stupor. Only then I realize that I've been holding my breath. Before I could figure out what happened, she's gone. Okay, so everyone has seen by now the ghosts, or the ghost lady, but no one tells each other. A quick scan of the room yields no evidence of her. The party team has no witness. I'm not really the one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would not have been allowed in fancy things like this. What has the security have been doing, and I really understand for someone distant to easily get in without notice. There should be an outcry by now, particularly from the hosts. She has been standing almost an arm length away from the woman, and yet she simply can't continue to hurt the top of Rebecca.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Is there something in the food then? And I'm starting to see things. It couldn't be the wine though. I'm every bit as sober as when I first stepped out of my car. The horse you dev. Why would anyone want to do that? Why would Luke Wright want to do that? He's fishy, but he couldn't things good idea to manage the food served with someone like Chief Lee on his guest list boat. He's been linked in as a trade. Yep. However, the kind of tact is below him. How much I couldn't tell. Unless there's a mass murder waiting to happen here tonight, which I highly doubt. So,
What the fuck was that?
what the fuck was, yeah, exactly, what the fuck was that? But there's no time to look deeper into this, even if I want to. Okay. When a telling of silence comes upon the room and draws everyone's attention to the main door in the ballroom, it's Luke like usual.
About damn time.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
Yes, until you.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Yeah, okay. I've been following this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who tackled this case, none of which are pleasant. Mind, I'm not counting the incident with Professor Clark, yet pleasant is glossing over the gravity of it. While Wright's good at covering whatever shady stuff he is doing, he shows to be a really rotten guy. And a jerk. At least that's the case he can happen again, like usual. At least he can be the thing with the peers around to judge him. A blast of how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment says that guy would be pinned with. Standing in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less. Actually, the argument is strong, but protocol. My case, first and foremost, my opinion of this man shouldn't get ahead of the purpose here. If I want to put him in his place, it shouldn't be a court with all proper charges filed against him. And I'll only be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down. Evidence.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode.
He's called Scumbag, nice.
Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses, as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Yeah, until you die. Suppressing my emotions, I prepare to step away from the crowds. A bit cheer and claps. Now's a good time to move, trying to find something that Macaulay woman talks about. In the first place, I have no plans to actually shake hands with the slime ball himself. A fake smile pleasant on my face while I'm preparing to listen to one of the other guests gossiping about him. All while slowly inching out of the ballroom. Unfortunately, before I could get any further...
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
How many times do we have to see this? I mean, like, I hope that in Luke's playthrough we don't have to do it again because it's getting annoying.
Perhaps you need to sit down and...
Rich people only have two ways to resolve their mess. Either they quietly deal with it behind closed doors, or they create an even greater problem out of it and just blow up in everyone's face one way or another. Fun.
No! Shut it, you monster! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard standing there with your smarmy smile!
Not even a few seconds, and this has already provided itself to be a big public spectacle. Why spending money on the television to buy a daytime soap opera? You could just go once the party to action unfold in a real life. You get free food too. Nice. Really, if I were an actual guest, that would I just did some order for form of amusement.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. I need to focus on him, even though this whole party holds sorry tale. So I wait, listen, observe. Interesting, isn't it, though? That's the chief inspector's wife. ... Wait, we just skip. Okay, interesting. So we don't... Okay. The morning after starts off quiet. Even the whole Silmall residence seems unusually still. The open hallway when I stop out to the attend, there's no sound coming from the other side unit either. It's almost if someone is brewing on the horizon. A peaceful night sleeps still this wonder of the mood, though. I can't even remember the last time I've slept without any argument interruption. It's a nice break for a bad news lately, if it wasn't for insisting buzzing in my pocket waking me up if I sleep in. The ring has stopped before I couldn't move somewhere private, but sleep has been efficiently kicked out of my system by then. I could use a little more rest until I have to face two other storms. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. It doesn't matter if it's the whole truth or another huddly spun tale. Although I haven't really figured out how to go about this yet. Unlike Zach and Isabella, who doesn't usually ask questions and are contained with what little I could share, Rebecca rather quick on the trigger. Yeah, I can tell that. It will have to be a seat set aside from later, though.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
Sure,
Baggers watch out, can't beat me.
Still being
Looking for
standing outside
trouble?
the
Better not lie.
Luxembourg
I'm a
morning.
cool
Let's go with
dude,
my
pretty
boss.
fly for an Asian guy.
Sigh.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
Right? Where are you right now?
Now that's a tone I didn't expect from him about this hour. Just think of how go already giving me a headache. Immediately I reached up and pinched the bridge of my nose to stave it off.
This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing.
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you, too.
He's probably calling to rack me up to complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my case. It seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Although I've been falling up with someone who's else wife, but I'm figuring that the chief's, hey, I trust him to come clean if the issue is related with the ride's shady dealing. This is why I left before they even halted the woman out last night. I'm not going to go around investigate cheating husbands and wives when it's probably just that. Chief appears to be a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
He did, and not only him. Zach, Rebecca, Isabella, all of them has said the same thing numerous times in the past. But I was undercover last night. A phone call is the last thing I want to happen when there's other people focused on the time. Besides, we have a radio and work issue phones. Why isn't he using those channels if it's urgent?
Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just... Look, kid. Pray. Don't take this personally, alright? You're off the Luxborn firm case. Starting today.
Well, I didn't expect to hear that either. This must be kind of a cosmetic joke. Allowed some awkward second to pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. Out of his bad mood to serve a hangover, maybe. Everyone knows he's given a chance to exert no control for his drinking. If it wasn't for a wife causing a stir, he'd probably be trasting an hour in a party. He'll likely drink more after they throw her out of the ballroom. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's informative most of the time, but when he doesn't follow it up... If I sound a tiny bit frustrating speaking out to Superior, I'm not one to blame.
Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The temps won't say anything about it, but I...
It's not that. They're orders from the higher-ups.
Oh, for fuck's sake. The higher-ups, great. Ah, the higher-ups, yes. My favorite words! Since when did the higher-ups even care about what a criminal investigation department did? As far as I could tell, they don't even get a hoot if the CED is filled with cold cases, as long as we keep the spending low. When I need to view those old case files, though, they're locked away in an archive. We're gonna have to check with the higher-ups. I need to access these reports if the higher-ups would allow it. Every step, every move in this case, this isn't what has been gated by some authority. If it's not the chief, it's the commissioning, or so they always tell me. It makes me wonder why they have been bothering assigning it to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help with the case. And they wonder why it's been taking this long for even a hint of progress to show.
You can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but...
3 years, Chief. 3 years!
3 years since the Noah's Tech leak blow up. Since Luke Wright's name has been openly linked to several nasty dealing with Luxembourg Corporation, well, some of them involved deaths. 3 years, and I was the only one who had made it this far. Much with the progress the office have more experience were able to do when they're handling this case. Just within an hour, a year, with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course, I'll be pissed.
Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it? It would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey, but the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress. Still too slow by their standards.
Too slow? Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Someone who has more experience?
They meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are.
Phyllis, I know it is. They never said it would earshot from hearing every minute I stepped into the prison. Lots of them underestimated me from their stares along to the assignment I get. To them, I'm still just a kid, too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pulled a card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out of the window, no matter how logic and how much semblance of this record says, or the amount of work I've pulled every investigation they have thrown my way.
We're all aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough. However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Can he even hear himself? The reason is on itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the danger of it.
Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final. I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Fred, it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Now just keep out of the precinct, Frey. Take the weekend off.
Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for...
You were at the party.
It makes me pause. His war tone, that subtly careful note in his voice. Slowly a frown from my face, my eyes nickered together in confusing confession. Much as I hate to say about my own boss, there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think about ways seeing how to act around Hannah right last night. Is he worried about why should he be? Everyone anyone has been invited, I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite, even if it presents with a questionable thing wrong and to walk into. All I have to do is a sneak suspicion while looking for this from a different angle, but put everything together. Why the hell I've been taken off the case might be the same reason was there in the first place. Fuck.
Yes, Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was...
He coughed and almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuse, Elias. I don't want to be accused of anything, yet he's someone I've respected since I joined LPD, even when his bizarre sense of humor and tendency with the personalities. He's obviously competent enough to be a job done. He wouldn't be the chief inspector of Luxembourg's police if he wasn't. He would have been last year in the service without some track record backing him. Unless that too is the fluke. And what's backing him is not something, but someone. Oh shit. Fucking, what do you mean, bro? Fucking hell. Fucking shit, come on.
Chief Harvey, about last night with the...
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
What? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I regret the whole damn oath with taken upon my being sworn into the service if I can, but at this point it seems to be too late to remind him of that. He's probably already moved from the serving of protecting people to be served with protection of his own interests. Damn it. I've been so... Apologies. I'm supposed to the upper brass of this, even the low-ranked subordinate of the force, but for my own boss? Shit, no wonder they didn't lead anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I might have been set up to fill long before the fucking case has been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I've been wasting an entire year for this. I don't want this to be some kind of news to tell Professor Clark after all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning. Every copy of the files you have, I want to see it all on my table, understood?
This isn't...
Frey, am I understood?
What else can I do than a smile and a nod? My own superior expectation answering in the tone, bruising my question of the eve of this rather dead body. Yes.
Yes, sir.
He cuts the line as soon as the word are out. You're off the case, Fred. Just like that. Funny, why this still caught me off guard. I've discovered years ago how different the actual things is, how far from reality everything has been believed to dreamy-eyed kids. There are no high-speed pursuits every day, no thrilling gunfights or exciting case every step of the way. Only paperwork led to a red tape and dealing with the politeness and baccarie. I set out to change things, hoping that things better for the people I care about. I ended up changing me instead. Served me right for being too idealistic, I guess. This is probably the universe me that's better to remain the skeptic I really am. Now, where I am, standing unless I can't even do anything but grit my teeth and kick the wall, the bastard didn't even acknowledge my response.
What did the poor wall ever do to you?
And figure as well be the one to figure out the embarrassment states. Honestly, I didn't like it when she sees me like this, which seems to be a lot. The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. Instead, she just looks, well, the storm I left brewing last night. It's right there on her face, ready to be unleashed.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now. Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word. Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around for my couch and my cooking.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Although, I'm not gonna lie, couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
10 out of 10. Would smash again. Nice one. Nice reference, guys. Nice meme reference.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Same for Ashton. He's also not in the mood. Her bitterness is not lost on him, but the point of the friendship in our lives, how does it still expect me to answer that? What am I supposed to tell her now?
Are you still mad about last night?
She merely raised her eyebrows at me. To be honest, it's all the response I needed. Seeing her like this makes me believe that the Z-Man says the part where Rebecca scares him sometimes. I've certainly seen this more once already. But the familiarity doesn't really take away from the downhill turn this conversation is starting to take. Only an awkward cough serves as the way to stall.
Okay, of course you're still mad. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want. If you want, I'd even kneel or something.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Alright, fine, okay. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your third trip to the buffet table.
I wasn't... The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party? Please, don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out. You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach? Sometimes I get the feeling you don't want to be seen with us in public. Some friendship, huh?
You know it's not like that. It's never going to be like that, Becca. I was
I'll ask this again. Just what were you up to during the party? What were you doing that you couldn't even take 2 seconds to make time for your friends?
I couldn't even look her in the eyes. It wasn't I want to avoid them. I did it to keep Zach safe, to keep Rebecca safe. Just in case. Client or friends, family friends, it's still a party hosted by personal interest by a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. But the chief showed up, Hannah Wright happened, and Luke Wright can't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. All of a sudden, none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right then and there, hell, if Zach and Rebecca connected with me was found out, who knows what would happen? But Rebecca doesn't understand that. She doesn't understand what I can't keep my from harm. It's all in our eyes and tight lines of her lips, for our bows, the hurts. These days, it's just off to wonderful starts. First my case, now Becca. Obviously, I couldn't just say, hey Becca, you know the rights, they're expected to ring leader. Wait, does it increase or decrease?
It's confidential, Rebecca.
Okay, that's it. And not just her, my dad, my mom, and Zach, and even Isabella. How many times pulled down to mind her own business to make sure it all keeps taking her danger? Life isn't a game. Television portrayed it to be a bad child. Clues back then, wasn't it? But the boy I learned. The good guy don't always win. Justice isn't always served. The investigator is not looking at the crime scene wants to get an urga moment. Sleepless nights, the crime lab, the tech guys, several days wearing the same clothes with Chinese takeout stain because I'm staking out the place. It's frustrating how the bureau hinders you from looking into a case any further, or when you know the suspicious is guilty, but they get away scot-free on a technicality. It's seeing angry and the pain to spiral with every case.
I know you have a mountain of questions, but I've told you this so many times before. I can't say much more than that.
Still, the look on Rebecca's face was about the pain. It hurts me as well to think about the cause that much. It's a familiar one too, something I've been a lot over the years. I wonder how long it taken before Zach started giving me the same one. Or until I've hurt Isabel in the way that involuntary apology won't ever be enough. What a mess. I'm a mess, and it's the people who close to me who have to suffer for it.
I guess, if that's the case, there's nothing much I can do about it. You're off being a hero, I guess? I shouldn't rag on you for that.
I couldn't never get used to how quick she just forgives me for whatever shitty thing I do. Zach and Isabel too. They've all been patient with me, unlike I with them. I don't deserve any of them. The kind of person who turns out to be.
I'm hardly a hero, Becca. I'm just Ash.
Yeah, you're Ash. Ash Hole, to be exact. I expect to return another one late with bitterness. Instead, she laughs. She laughs. Great. Half-hearted with barely a hint of tears in it. But it's the laugh, nevertheless. I honestly don't know what to make of that. What to do with myself upon hearing it. It's almost like the mere sound, like a mind of fury.
The least you could have done is tell me. Maybe I could have helped. Kept an ear and an eye out for you.
What is like? So we're like what? Maybe 2% done or something. Sorry, 1%.
I don't know. I could have been Irene Adler, maybe?
Who is Erlen Irely? Her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes, but the more she tries, the harder for me. I give her a smile of my own, though I imagine it comes off to being unjust at hers. It's far easier to slip back to banter when it's like just to bruise off everything. At least this way we wouldn't have to deal with an awful thing.
The woman? Don't flatter yourself. Nancy Blue, more like.
Her sidekick would beg to differ, Ashett.
Ashett? I couldn't stop a worrying grin from my firm on my lips. She probably still has the photo from the contest. Keep it in the old diary. I never did find either two after I threatened to burn them. In the end, I never bought it up again, hoping she should forget about the whole thing. But a small smile on her face says a lot. Those are the good times, a lot simpler and more peaceful. Now things have changed. We're no longer the same person. We are as kids. Growing up together doesn't make it always has to be just the two of us in the first place. It's a dumb motivator to believe in. If nothing even remains content, things will be inevitably changed through the years. In fact, already has long ago, not just with the people we've allowed in our respective lists, but also with us as people, as friends. It really does complement as we get older, doesn't it? Not everything has to be, though even if there's a form of problems, I have no idea what I've been able to fulfill.
I swear, I'll explain when it's all over. ...
The silence afterwards brings me in heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca thankfully doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
They say I'm already awkward as this. Dragging this out will only make it more, what? Difficult? Messed up? If it isn't already.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. I have no case. As for a job to concern, I have the weekend off until I have to report for chief on Monday. Although I don't want to just throw the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like a movie. I don't go to say fuck off, throw my gun and bats at him, becomes a vigilante, save the day, and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. But it's not in my mature nature to sit still and do nothing. I'll be driving crazy if I help all that. Besides, there's someone who has who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
None of the matters she mentioned last night specifically. Things even the bad news have been blasting on the general population lately. Evening, afternoon, morning, all deaths with the same modus, blame on a single serial killer. Or is it still the case?
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today.
Oh.
The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
We're grasping at the straw as far the murder of the concerns. In the first place, I've not been heading into investigation yet. Look at me treating a high-profile case on my shoulders. How sad is that? Although all three of my friends have been mentioned seeing something strange, I don't know much things about for now. Not yet. Not until I've exhausted every logic argument I could throw at it. To be honest, though, I don't know how to take all of this. My promise I made to her. Again, it crashed again. And for Rebecca's claims last night, there won't be enough to sarcasm in the world with friends who need telling the truth. I can already hear Isabella's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
It's not another case. It's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. The roll of her eyes, she turns back to her, shut the door in my face. I have no idea what I've said this, but...
I probably deserve that.
I'll just have to fix this on some other time, but then her temper sure has been cooling off significantly. Hopefully... ... For now, I can't lazy around, gotta attend to things that matter more. Professor Clark, first delivering the bad news. There's the issue of the BRC, and Isabella maybe... I could also drop by Zach, check on him, hear what he has to say about the... He has also read that damn letter. Well, I can't remember. Whatever, I couldn't hurt anyone if I tried to the bottom of this. If nothing comes out the goods, everyone gets shut up about stupid curses. And more stuffing. There's something...
Are you two done?
A moment of confusing, familiar ponytail about only to find her standing behind the door, apartment seconds later. So holds it open, though only slightly, as to hidden from anyone who might be happening to pass by. As early on the lazy weekends, I doubt anyone would. From the gaze, the light behind her, I could make the impression of someone who could have gotten on beds. Hair completely today, eyes still heavy with sleep and still piled lips. She hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. ... I look away long before my sensor kicks in. Might be friends, even dare to say grown closer over the years, but doesn't accept kind of proxenius. Christ, even Rebecca never greatly early visited her in her sleepy clothes. Though maybe it's our fault why she's up this early. Still, heats up, makes up to slowly crawl up my neck. One that I quickly downplay with salty cough.
Isabella, you're up early.
Lame.
No, I'm not. I'm usually up at this hour. You're the one that usually sucks at getting up early.
Says the person who looks like she's just fallen out of bed.
Instead of the clip, she simply averts her gaze to some point beside her, although it only flashed briefly across her face and as of hurt flickering in her eyes. It disappeared the second she turns her attention back to me, but the moment has sent a word twing to my stomach. I've seen it plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time? I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud. If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
She follows up with another pound. The relevant appearance, particularly in how puffed her eyes are. I know it's just now taken away from the immediate effects she's trying to show. Really, right now, she looks like she's more an angry puppy. She's a puppy. Okay, nailed it. I might have laughed and given another naggy sense that something is definitely wrong with her. What? Has she been crying earlier? That is worrying. She rarely does that. The only time it happened, the one time I've seen her jealously teared up or something. I think it's over Devil Course the night of the bridge. I want to ask. She seems to be determined to keep it herself, though.
Belle, did something...
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me.
Roast.
Don't worry. I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help. You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't like what she's saying, implying it's true. LPD having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information, and I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
There it is again. The slight shift of her eyes, the milk forming between her eyebrows, the milk flurp in her shoulders, while she crosses her arms tightly around herself, like she's shielding herself from what are painful things there is outcoming here. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her tag along. First and foremost, he's civil. Second, I have no concerned plans of action yet. I'm going to be into this blind, no matter how I look at it simply, but just so won't drag into what might be another one of those failures. Her assumption might be a dead end, for all we know, but seeing the expression on her, hearing her speak those words out louder, almost blending tone, I can't bring myself to say no. So I give in, because right now I see myself in her. The person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting him.
All right, 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate you so much.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful! I hope you never get a girlfriend.
Yeah, you deserve that, Ashton. You don't deserve a girlfriend. She slams the door right after, although my chuckles the mirror and the light is in the linger. With her, those are always come easy somehow, even if the echoes fade and only the ghost smile remains.
It's not like I'm looking for anyone else.
I want to tell her. It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to until I fix myself. I've found myself underneath all the guilt from those lies I've been telling all those years. Because no matter how heavy the weight of those feelings are, I'm not yet worthy of them or her. Until then, little words of stir is the only thing I can offer. Minor stuff, such as digging deeper into the BCRE in order to ease her worries. I'm not even sure if I'm giving anything. Unlike the firm case, which already we have property leads on, I'm just going to be her word on this. Speaking of the Luxembourg firm case, I still have to inform the professor. A bit of the search, I made a promise to the man he wouldn't prefer to tell him in the person, not even the phone, but hearing him rather be a stranger. Still supported waiting for him to answer. I like to think I can do without losing my nerves. My grip has been surely tired though once called connected.
Ashton!
Not running today, Professor?
Usually at the park on late Saturday morning, as long as he isn't raining cats and dogs. Keeping a young and healthy, he says, still certainly fits for a man his age is doing the job.
Oh no, not today.
He's definitely at the usual place though. A cheer of laughter like from a child in families filtered through the receiver. I tend to avoid the park precisely because if there's no use remaining myself from having that's already over. Mom doing well this cheer. Career, that's also fine. The last time I visited though, neither remarried with both connected life it is. I'm probably the one who is still caught up with the age my ever is. But all of it, I'm still pleasant to see if you're kind who taking joy in such sights like Professor Clark does.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. And to what do I owe the pleasure?
The concerns seem happy right now. In any case, I almost don't want to break the news to him. But it's better to get off quick and doesn't shoot the messaging. It's not the type, however, his long-held person can change the person, even someone who has milled the manner of the professor.
I was hoping to talk to you about the case.
I suppose I'm just a drowner today as soon as the words say the words. He paused and lightly, his voice gone to the instant. Every time I've been talking about the past, he does that. He probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps the good thing I'm delivering the news through the phone. Who knows who face immaculate. The art of surgeon I learned from the man. He probably already has an idea that might be about from my manner of speaking alone.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
For a second, I hesitated, looking dirt beneath my shoes. But the man eventually, after a long ragged draw of breaths, I pick where I left off, though still following my words.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton!
He only sums him with a tone where he turns the heels.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was just... was taken off the Luxborn firm case.
I expected anger, frustration, maybe even be disappointment. But all he gave me is a sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz. And Liz, he says that I call her. Slave wife. A sweet-tempered woman. So many standards. She were never blessed with kids, content herself with simply managing their own bakery. But she's the closest in the mom. A few years I known her, the professor too. In observe of my own parent in my life, the two fulfilled the age with the force left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up on her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
How many years have been since? 9? 10? I can't remember in wild. Two men primarily dressed, briefcases in hands and stern looking at her face. Were already frequent visitors to the bakery for a few months, something about not being a prime property in downtown Luxembourg. I think they were hoping to settle a deal with them, but neither of them couple gave them demands. Why should they? The quiet little shop was a dream of them. And this sent me home early that night after a flustering wait of the professor. The next morning, the news of the bakery ads in the ground has been spread across the whole city. One constellation. A few weeks later, the property has been sold to the right Oh shit, that's harsh. That's actually harsh, wow. A fucking hotel now standing in the place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright was briefly at the center of it, or lacked any evidence. His ultimate case went cults. The professor hides it well. However, he can't tell the hate that man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every star not open in the city. He never blamed me though. I'm equally responsible. I know something off. There's something those men stepping inside the shop. I couldn't save her that night. I would prevent anything from happening to her, calling from whatever help or whatever. I didn't. So it continues to eat at me until today. The guilt. The Luxembourg firm case would have been the chance at reopening the old case. We would have proven Luke Wright at this crime. Instead, we're back at square one. Yet, all of the words of comfort, I think I'd be still concerned about him after all my careless after I'd broken another promise a second time. People never cease to amaze me.
You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him. But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again.
Finally, he stops. I imagine the full look fresh in his eyes as he thumbs the random band in his ring finger before he continues another habit. He never been removed it since the day. He never thought once to remarry, even when he managed to continue with his life and return to simplicity and normality. It's his way to honor her, I suppose, what he couldn't bring to justice the man result of his loss. Some people are just hard to forget.
It's not like another death. Yours or even his. Will bring back my wife.
Silence fell between us afterwards. I don't quite know how to say after that, really. Should I apologize? Something going into this? I should have thought of something other than just breaking the news to him. As it is, it's simply the only thing we can do. Feel sorry for other misfortunes.
I apologize too for putting you up to this.
In another consumption, under different circumstances, I might have accepted that, but
you didn't have to. But you've already done more than any officer who has investigated this. So don't worry about this, old man. I know your department's people all have their hands full recently, too. What with the upsetting news we've been getting as of late. Deaths almost every day. I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems too big even for someone like him. But if this is that man's doing...
Professor, please.
Maybe if there's something... Beyond my control, the letter dimension is supposed to cure behind those who still quick to blame Basil too, but as much as I want to keep a hold of responsibility of it, to add another of this fault list of sins might not be the case. Agreeing would only cut a deeper wound on the professor. I don't want to keep him clinging to return so much for longer as already given those for years. This kind of anger, sort of blind man, still despite his the bitterness still seeps into every syllable in the others. It's nothing for to act like this. It's painful to watch someone I've considered a second thought to go down in this path.
Please don't apologize. It's really alright. I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few tidbits every once in a while. But I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you.
Promise again. A bad habit at this point. I wish I could do for him all this time I pride myself over being one of this known, because suddenly, aside from the riots and murder place, the city have been ghosting curse about him. Things that are completely out of depth. We have been 8 minutes, and Isabella had about 5 minutes, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. Professor Clark wanted some way to fix it would be easier if we blame Luke Wright for all of this. At least finding evidence would be a breeze for long having to put them in the place they belong. Although his Hanway also complex with happening legitimate have my own hands tied. But maybe that's my fault. I might have missed a ticket to close the case once and for all last night if only I've done a better job during the party. But then the commitments. There's Hannah Wright, Rebecca distracting me from the purpose too. I included the gag crazier as well, even though it's only for a moment. So many things have gone wrong last night. That's...
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Oh, now he realizes shits.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Last night at the party.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That woman.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Shit. That wasn't about informing us the same thing as Rebecca talked about last night. How many things of the intent have dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effect of faked of lack of sleep? Even last night, the hooligans loads the food in the first place I considered to be purely because their mind of training the seed. In the mindset I've grown used to it instead of the gear of my own head, I automatically take this to be like that. Of course, I'm not discounting all that yet until I have enough information, something to form a conclusion from. Proof in whatever may come. But thinking straight impossible when I'm settling all of her beliefs in a more violent way possible at that. Jesus, I need to be soundboarded. I need to talk to someone, and Zach's the best person for that.
I have to go, Professor.
Oh, no problem.
But what are you... Nope. I don't want the time to stop with this, Professor say, as he cut the call short. In the same second, Isabella emerged from her apartment, fully dressed and ready for the day. And usually she greeted me with a smile, but falls to just a fast one. She catch a glimpse of my face. Shame she would defer comfort to seeing this today. It annoys me that particularly response for the worry once replacing it. It must look close to the picture of someone choking on of dying, because there's nothing to be concerned in the first word she speaks.
Ash, are you... Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, no, I don't, okay. But we should hurry. Come on, don't forget to lock your door.
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over. Are you alright? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Shouldn't we call him? To let him know? It's still pretty early, though we'd probably arrive there around noon. Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zach...
He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too. I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him. To make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday.
He has also been seeing things someone means the same woman I saw last night.
I'm not saying there's really a curse yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something. You didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
You know it's not as simple as that.
We're down to my car this time. No single second wasted to road to Zach's place. If anyone of us can, other than Isabel, who knows anything about what's going on, who can help sort of muddle a mess behind this, it's got to be him. He listens to her. Zach is the kind of prefers to lazy around his apartment once weekend, especially after having a busy week like the last one. The big guy nowhere's inside, though. When I arrived in his units, figures people don't seem to be wanting to need him. Looking around, I find no sign might be gone. Usually leave his note on the fridge, the start of the day, just in case someone drops by. If there isn't anyone, he probably just went out for a quick walk, I hope. Maybe he ran out of eggs or something and went by to say something. He's out of eggs after all. My running mind is right as well. He's always been some kind of omelette or something he's baking.
Ash! Should you be rummaging around? It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is empty, saving a few leftovers. All I can do is sigh and then close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Call the police! Circumlapse my it's my unease my stomach. Come on, you actually made a good joke. If you'll take anything, feel free to call the police. You're allowed to. But the chair only lasts for a few more seconds, mostly because she's isn't in the mood for some friendly battery. Even the signs of telling the quick and a quiet it's just the first rescue of an incoming shitstorm.
Do you always do this whenever you visit another person's house? Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
Just with Zach. Okay. Just aware of a friend, of course, despite with bothering Isabel seems obnoxious too. She's been standing in the doorway for a few minutes now, since we entered Zach's place. In fact, she doesn't know what to do with herself, but as much as I want to put her at ease, her nerving tics are staring at Gotham to me, the manner in which makes herself smaller, the way she fidgets with her hand clasping the moment in front of the next, the distraction of the moment I asked what's wrong. I doubt to give me a straight answer though, as best can do to help her temper.
You don't have to hang around the door. You might be here for a while. You can sit down.
She has stayed for a second, but eventually takes an empty seat by Zachary's study.
Aren't we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxburn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
The trail of making a vengeance stirred to Zach's bed. The matter suggests a hurry. If you don't bother to fold the sheets. His cell phone been left behind as well. Another odd thing when he's made the habit of never leaving behind in the case of client calls.
At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
It seems to reserve to her not as much, unable to understand that anything might happen. In hindsight, I should have left Rebecca alone either. I would have checked on her later. In the meantime, Zach has been sending no way to contact him with the choice between waits. Sure, I got in his room another food to run through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upsetting his place. Isabella won't let me do that either. Besides, I won't even eat anything yet. Isabel probably hasn't too. We did leave in a hurry. Might as well take a chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself and charge head first because Isabel is with me. I can't be reckless. I return to the kitchen. The first thing I see is a bag of chips. Rough through the cupboards. After muttering a permission, an apology, and an owner won't hear, I grab it. Isabel doesn't mind shooting another glare. She doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores me and offers the food though. So instead I sat myself on an old couch and turned the TV on. Isabel's silence may not be heavy, be awkward. The screen lights up as some awful noontime drama starts airing on the channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the time. And waste it away we do. I think I'm gonna go stop around 3 because I do have to cruise down something before 4 if I do get an email or something, but yeah. The afternoon has been hit last night. A movement comes over the other side of the room and Zach's heavy attendance breaks the level of the TV. The lock clicks and knocks and suddenly swings open to reveal very exhausted looking Zach. What? Did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Light as my tone might be, his arrival eased a edge into me. Who knows, she would have given down something bad happened to one of my friends. If another minute has gone by without him showing up, I might have resorted to unknown methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
It's scary how friendly bothering is easy smile comes natural. I do even if without thinking, and I can speak of him about how humbly I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? That makes me afraid of however the day may come. Even without even meaning to any offense him in some way. The friendship might be close and I've shared with others. There might be a boundary that can cross without the other permission. Zach's been respectful of that. So far, nothing asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? He's been saying not so much. It's always been easy bothering that I must wish that I could stay like this. No words, no problems, just potato chips and debating on whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always cuts something like short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend.
Weekend!
Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know. What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although her tone forced me to a double steak, Zach doesn't push it. The question all but clear. Glance me though. I really couldn't answer him despite my best effort. Isabella been uncomfortably well as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just go forcing her to speak. I can't see he's not Korean, but she's a friend for Pete's sakes. It's a good thing Zach has been better handled with it than I, and soon enough he changed the subjects. Or at least the necessary to better topic, however.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
His thumb is the one that says silence against before glancing my way. There's no plea of the takeover for this, but there's where it starts. The mention the stray things of seeing the letter. Am I afraid of what I'm going to say? I can't even believe I'm concerned to take a deep look into this whole thing in the first place, but here I am.
Please don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far. And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
We don't know that. Let me...
Sometimes I amaze myself how much I try for her, but I can't afford her, skin and brush her off. Lucky for day, spare plain tone of hers. This is the least I can do, perhaps even making up for those times I've heard.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess. Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
I expect Zach starting leaving around second ahead. Yeah, I would too, but the universe would be standing in front of me, self beside. Even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The lucky charm and mystical object from my mother have often been stored away, giving Apollo a gift to his own who would appreciate them more.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash.
I haven't limited every single possibility here yet, but what else it can offer her? The word looks Zach shoots me the way. It doesn't help one bit in helping me gather my thoughts either. Where I came here from before. Somehow everyone suddenly just worried about him. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Along with Isabella's warnings, with occurring around Zach, what happened about Luxembourg since Isabella found that letter?
Have you two seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled, expressing enough answers. Of course, he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. The guy has mostly went out soon as he got him back to shake an image off. The memories have been really left him. Isabella, though.
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
It would easily mean anything. Did her Kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? She had been billed him in numerous times in the past, though I'll piss her off, saps and wants to cheer her. Her other brother, the youngest one, who keeps insisting that he's quit school so he could come home. That was 2 years ago. As far as I know, she's already sorted the one out. It couldn't have been the father, right? With the mansion sale, she has earned enough to recover her bill for a while. It should. So what is it then?
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever bugging her, I doubt something means for casual discussion. I'll mention it sooner. Fixing my curse, so later I take a remote and begin cycle for the channels. Distraction, no good. I admit definitely better than leaving her the bread. Eventually I found doing the recap of the morning reports. There it is. The poor man is in there with how badly his body has been burned. Murder via arson, that's the logic explanation of the officer looking into it.
Within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
There's going to be considered as soon as humans convinced soon enough they can find anything else. Or it's important for everyone who knows the sacred room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to them.
Like what happened to Cooper. Hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this have been missing the whole thing again in the rights. LPD already thinking that serial killer at this point. How long until they conclude the London Metro colonists, I'm not sure. The honest butcher has always been the case, even with the people in the city. Gone for a few years, next, one body after another found. Merely handling the case as barely driving the chief inspector insane years ago. He never found anything commit those murders. Maybe now this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Her words all come out of the whisper, and each syllable lingers into the air, heavy with the guilt. In the thick thinness of the room, she strikes harsher than any of the things that it says. However, she has been understand, know that she is only on this. No one has asked her to this point upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. Sure as hell, I sure
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this. I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
And give us a sign. Still a whole fucking mess. We're into this blinds. The only way to make it to start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. The Curtis plan like now. I think maybe Isabel's right. Maybe we should be a deep digger into BRC itself. Maybe we are looking in the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's enough that he is aware that I have an idea in the mind. For his part, Z-Man doesn't push it, and nothing heavy silence. These are departing hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me if I only had heart to join the force. We'd certainly use more kind of people like him. But as good as that is, I pushed all of it back in my mind as Isabel and I head for my car. Tonight I can stay distracted. For a few half-heart attempts to get some kind of reaction from Isabel to drive to BRC is a quiet, awkward affair. More so an hour-long wait at the nightfall. Even with only the 2 of us, the place is rival with tennis energy. Only a matter of minutes now. But the ticking sounds don't take away the edge, and for the 5th time I reach out to the fibble of the radio and turn the knob. No real purpose. It's a nerving quirk I've developed and nothing bothered to correct during stakeouts. Something to keep in mind covering during the night. What else to do? Firstly, I unaccount the usual. Out of the blue, Chad refused my attempt at starting one.
Ash, out with it! If you have something to say.
The way she's quickly followed it into silence after the spread of the tone she takes though. I make how it does really mean everything. Tell me right now. She hasn't been ever glanced my way since we arrived.
Having second thoughts? You can still back out if you want.
We're just going to my office. Why should I?
Dunno. You can get in trouble, maybe. This isn't exactly legal.
Scope BRC out and see the real estate. Have been any more information help find those things about Cooper and other agent assignment to the Regal Mansion. According to Isabel, is the last property the fixing has been working on. Surely I also check the stage and full reports. It's easy to seem semi-legal way. But I don't want to bump into the chief right now. The guy will definitely turn me out outdoors, so they know me. Not that my plan right now has been better. I'm just breaking in a different place, more or less, with the boats. The latter stuff doesn't sit well with me. It will never be, especially if this might be put in a very tricky position afterwards. She may be very careful when it comes to work, almost a model employee. People would say she's throwing caution in the window.
I'm not an employee here. I'm not supposed to be looking for any confidential stuff. Only people like you are privy to.
If you mentioned earlier that this is your plan, I might have had enough time to think about it. I already promised to help if you need access to those files. I didn't think you'd want to see them this soon and in this way. Besides, the same goes for you, right? You were taken off your case. Won't you get in trouble with your boss?
Honestly, it's also been between breaking to her office or hit some right to Ashton. As it's standing, it's been an easier time to getting in first. After all, why would someone want to break into a reality company? Been here many times before anyway, for a few casual visits when I wanted to to book Scaredy Cat. Scaredy Cat. Over the years, I've been more or less grown familiar with the security setup and how badly staffed they are. Plus, the old building bankruptcy rumors are true. It's just a meaning their access protocol might be updated.
Still, I can do this on my own, you know.
Really? And how are you even planning to get into our office without an access card? Please explain.
Well, I was going to pry open the card reader and use a gecko.
You're a hopeless case. I really want to know why no one has locked you up yet.
Yeah, you're helping me with this. Willingly. I don't think that'll sit well with the Philippine embassy either. Chances are you'll probably get deported the minute they find out.
Below, I know, but it's worth shots and turn back. It's not like anything means in the first place. With or without her, I have a way.
At least I have a reason to be snooping about. My badge and rank can speak for me in case things go south. You?
For a past success, it seems to work. In a panic, an essay flashed across her featuring when she looks at me with searching eye. Then unexpectedly it dissolves, looking nothing to fear and anticipate, but beneath there's something sharp and shearing. I'm not sure exactly what scene, hoping to find short my gaze. All the mercy goes unspoken no longer. A minute later, she simply added her attention back to the window, training once again the point on side.
Isabella, please, now's not the time.
It's too late for that, Ash. Give it a rest.
I feel spoken voice too harsh coming from her. Perhaps already too exhausted for everything going lately. It's hard enough to she takes in the tone, and soon, despite myself, I sigh. Tucking away from every concern I've been lugging around, in favor of trusting her on this, according to the same conflict as she has implied to give me all the time.
Alright, okay, if that's what you want. And don't worry, I didn't mean what I said earlier. I won't let anything happen to you.
Wow, he's blushing. Her lips briefly turn up in a smile, though none of the cheer reaches her.
Just get this over with, okay? Everyone should be out of the office by now.
Somehow, the uncertainty of the pearl makes me wonder if she's intended to contact Stuart. Better for me if she doesn't like to. Without saying another word, she's exited the car. I'm left scrambling and chasing after her. She is already at the side entrance and raising a hand raised on a card reader beside. It's another voice to push the door when I catch up to her. When I doubt her, wait, it's gone. Seeing her like this makes it easier to believe my words are unfounded. The things I might be smooth.
And where do you think you kids are going? It's late. Most offices in this building have already closed up shop for the weekend.
The both seem friendly enough to can really tell from him voice along. Maybe a sort of way if I don't know. Keeping on her face, I'm like, figured how to wiggle out the situation.
Just come back on Monday if you have important business.
From the way his face brightens up, it looks like so. Then getting more mess with trouble. He's probably been working here for a few months already. Then maybe around 4 or 6 max. Otherwise, he wouldn't recognize Bill at the first glance. I haven't showed my face ever since the assignment of the firm case 7 years ago. In the first place, none of these security officers have ever lasted a year in service. The longest was around 7.5. Give this guy around that before I get fired or finds a better paying job for a moment. His too friendly attitude is almost a gift.
Hey, Seb!
Oh, look who we have here. Been a few days since I last saw that ponytail in here, Santiago?
Santiago! Santiago! Isabella Santos.
Close enough!
Oh, fuck me, that's great.
Wait, don't tell me yet. I'll get it right this time. Sanchez!
Sanchez! Okay, nope, wrong again.
You were closer the first time?
Drat, I swear it is on the tip of my tongue. I just need a hint to remember.
Get back to use his number. You can't even remember a regular employee's name.
Alrighty, I'm sure of it this time. Centillon?
Centillon! Oh, my fucking God.
Still a ways off, Seb.
Isabella, we don't have all night.
No, just let me handle this. Sorry, Seb. Some other time. We're in a bit of a hurry. I just need to get a few things from my cubicle. Important work stuff, you know? Is it okay if we drop upstairs for a sec?
Oh, absolutely. No, go right ahead. As long as you have your access card with you, we're good. Not sure if I'm allowed to let your boyfriend in, though.
Boyfriend's in, though.
Who, me?
My what?
Your boyfriend. The guy with you, isn't he?
It's fair to observe, but I do say myself. Needless to say, the silent descent is both uncomfortable and terribly awkward. Although the latter probably comes mostly from him, because in the next second this won't last. Lighter than one thing for a lady, and cover his sound really. It's been seeing her such a torture since the morning. Even I was so tired, or chuckling as we like. It's come to see that he's particularly responsive for it, despite my pure heart being beaten the circle.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, no! No. He's definitely not my boyfriend.
She might as well have been misfired to well, she is, frankly, the number is of no sentence along is a bit too much. Christ, once have been enough to get a message across. Did she really have to put it that way?
That's impossible! Stop being funny, Seb. I'll go on ahead, okay?
To get like shoveled behind side, with nothing more than a small wave, even behind even more awkward aspect of the dough. Unbearable, suffer through the strange amusements. Also, who is me?
Not the boyfriend, but close to it, huh?
Mind your own business.
Kids these days.
I like Seb.
Good to see her up and about, though. Thought for sure she'd up and disappear like the others.
Excuse me?
You know, stuff in the news.
You mean what happened with Rose Cooper?
If I'm going to be stuck for him, well, I'll try to get as much intel as I can. Must be a guard, someone who's not really authorized most of the time.
Yeah, but even before that, we've got a couple of good blokes we never saw again.
Really? Those guys could have just resigned for all you know.
No, I only catch tidbits of stuff from over here. Oh, seriously, I heard the branch is getting flushed soon, but that's no excuse for anarchy. Figures why Boss Man's been in an awful temper these past months.
They managed to strike a good deal with the mansion in Ansem, right? That didn't do the trick?
Didn't seem like it. The bloke shouting like no tomorrow again. Wasn't very pleased when Gurley called and asked for another leave yesterday afternoon.
Gurley? Isabella?
Not so surprising to it's already gone over 3 days. Not a bad time in really, but it's about rarely use it for work.
Yeah, poor Lassie if you ask me. She found him a buyer for that mansion after all. The least you could do is be considerate to her after a family member's passing.
Wait, what?
The room BRC, Bruce Cooper, is an actual employee. All of it. In an instant. Almost on instant. My eyes here in an calm speaker. If starting to show me behind the voice so I can hear through the things.
Oh, you don't know?
No, what?
Nothing. I shouldn't be the one you're asking, and, you know, things might get a bit boring here. No one really wants to hear what a poor old guard wants to say. Why don't you just go after her? As long as you're not looking to create trouble for me, it won't be a problem. You aren't here for that, right?
He's lucky I'm not here for anyone comes in with ill intelligence smells of the day.
Well, no, but...
I'll go and unlock that side entrance for you then. Just don't forget to turn off the lights before you both leave, okay?
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean by...
He cut the connection right and finished the rest of my questions. Down for us to see the decided going open. The stout man is still loose from him when he waits me over the gas 4 He dispersed behind station again. Just my luck. Here I don't go have to count whatever else brings. Although how much wants to feel happy some else is arranged to take a firm seat form of mind his way back and okay, so I'm back. Sorry, I had no calls. Luckily enough, it automatically cuts off the stream, so you don't have to hear my private, of course. So yeah, I have to sadly enough leave the live stream for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I haven't checked how long we were, but we were pretty far if I remember. We're not even far, but yeah. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, guys. I will see you maybe, not tomorrow, but probably maybe Sunday with the letter again. But mostly we'll see probably Assassin's Creed again Sunday.